As we are entering the age of knowledge, any faculty, be it the faculty of architecture and history and arts, or human, social and political sciences, or the faculty of biology, or the faculty of languages, the faculty of technology, engineering, electrical engineering, information engineering, clinical neurosciences, the faculty of earth sciences, geography, the faculty of mathematics, the faculty of business and management. There are so many faculties, especially psychology, psychiatry, surgery. The center of all faculty is pure knowledge, and how to gain that knowledge came to my individual space with my source, because my only motto in life was, I want to know. Every day I get up, I want to know. And so I had the urge of really painting what was inside of me, and so I could gain knowledge of myself. It was rather a preview of what was coming into creation. So this first painting you are seeing here is when I was merging with the inner light cities, the underground light cities that carry so much information. And so working with the elements, I was directed by the consciousness, the essence of the lion, who directed me through the underground cities with the knowledge of the green dragon that is represented on this painting, and how to bridge all the density on earth through the bridges of light. So there is a lot to learn through this painting, and how these colors came through, and how I had to merge this knowledge with the musical output that would come through the neurons in my body, and that would even make me paint like for hours, during night hours especially. So in the following painting, we are moving into a grid system, because grids, they fuse into the meridian system of the body. And what this painting represents is, on the right side we can see a male and female with the old sexual output, and the hands of light fueling through the density and merging or climbing up the silver stairs, and how people or male-female components should meet. And that is fueled by green light that eliminates debris and reconnects the purity between male and female essences, that comes through the heart first, and then comes the brain connection, and then the overall connection that goes through the phoenix of transformation, represented by the orange ray. And also it carries a high level mentality and a high level of spirit consciousness, inspiration, that is represented here with the silver ray and the green arc that makes you arc your essence from soul consciousness or ego consciousness into spirit consciousness. So that is really a deep level to go through, as the lavender ray in this case also represents the movement out of the density of earth and keeping the debris out of your energy field. This next painting is the pink bird. The pink bird that is merging with the oceans, the rivers of light, and how we need to repair the debris in the oceans, and I killed off the many reefs and the coral kingdoms, and so many animal kingdoms within the oceans. So this really represents how the bird kingdom assists sea life to bring the repair to, and how we can do this as well with new technology being loaded through many levels of new consciousness when the brain is being inundated from ego consciousness. So as we move through that, then I had a lot of work with my own brain, of course, and adjusting everything through the origin and eliminating the consciousness of my soul that came through birth on earth. So what it really represents is this woman, a face of a woman that has ulcers and everything in her throat and in the head center, because it represents all the malnutrition on earth, and how she is eliminating all these dense factors in order to spiral new knowledge and to spiral the golden age through. And that is what comes out of her head, her nose, her throat especially, and the power of the spoken word that is coming back into creation as of now. So this is a very strong painting, as also it represents the musical spheres by the Burgundy Way. This next painting is my connection with Earth, and how I bring technology to of how to connect with the golden universe and also the celestial planetary system, and reconnecting with the origin of my male component, which we can see through the spiral in the middle of this painting. The next one is a male essence, a male entity that reconnects as well with the ability to feel with rather than for, which is the essential difference between consciousness and emotion. Because when we feel for things, we are emotionally moved, and so we have pity and sympathy and kindred feelings that stir us, yet they seldom give us any definite impulse that is of value in the adjustment of any chain of circumstances. So when we feel things, we are so much a part of them that we understand the innermost elements of our being. So this understanding comes with consciousness and knowledge, with intellectual comprehension according to the ancient rules or the ancient doctrines. Perfect consciousness is really the ability to feel with everything as a part of everything and not as in division. And that was regarded as the ultimate state of so-called human unfoldment. So the natural expression of the inner life principle is really to refine and improve the qualities of its outer vehicle, that it may be more in control and in direction of these natural quality. So it's evident that the more refined our substance becomes, the more easily it is influenced by subtle forces as well. And this next painting represents two dragons, male, female dragons, that are connected with the purple universe. And in the center of this universe we see another galaxy actually, which is represented by a great central sun, the great centralizer, and how it merges with languages of light through the golden circle that opens up around this purple universe. And also all my paintings are about male-female reconstruction actually. This painting represents the fire that opens up and rebuilds the brain when moving through the peaceful vines that can be recreated and reconstructed in our consciousness. It always has a silver component. And I didn't know why that was so, but I do know now, because silver is always connected to your spirit, to your inspiration, and also to a great level of achieving success with your capability to think on a broader level, on a universal level. So, because consciousness or knowledge comes from space, so it's more about our vision that we have. We do have two eyes represented on this painting, yet the earthly and the spiritual eyes need to fuse somehow. It is recommended that it becomes one composition with many elements, and so we see the elements surrounding the brain, and we see some brain, or let's say brain extensions, moving through the throat, between the eyes especially. This means that there is general knowledge and truth that man has always possessed, but in my feeling and experience, the universe has only one substance, one supreme energy with an infinite number of manifestations of life. So everything, as Tesla would term, is really electricity, the electrical output that we have inside. And so first there is light, an endless source from which many materials can distribute it to all forms that represent the universe and the earth, and so many star systems with all its aspects of man's body and brain that are made from a large amount of energy. So the brain function is manifested in light, and so it carries consciousness through what? Through sound, to color, to languages that come to them as codes. And so this decoding this painting and the colors within the paint are essentially very important. For myself, I gained knowledge in how to open that up in my brain and dig deeper in the levels of what I really wanted to achieve. So, and that was the most important component. In this next painting, we see the phoenix opening up or rising from the ashes and opening the eardrums to a higher level of universal hearing, which comes through the crystalline kingdom. This is one of my really favorite paintings, and it's about a male and female dragon that seed each other, but not as through the womb and bringing new life and creation, but it would seed through the entire spine. And so the seeds would be, let's say, fueled with new levels of deep love and knowledge before it comes into creation, so outside the body. And this is being assisted through the golden moon that backs the spine of the male sperm in this case. So maybe a difficult concept, but it comes down that I don't think that a female womb was ever created to bring life into creation, such as babies. And there's a much larger concept to that, I think. So this next painting here, through the green way, green knowledge, green architecture, represents the dinosaurs, the ancient sounds of a dino that opens up through the human ear. As you see on your right side, a microphone, and all those ley lines are reconnected to the human ear, so we can open up the technology again to open our ears up to celestial universal hearing and even beyond that. So that is something also Tesla knew very well, because he heard the sounds or the harmonics in the universe like on an everyday level. He didn't even need to open it up. So but one thing I loved about him that he said was, food is really crap. It kills the human kingdom, and it is made out of substances that cannot put up with the elements in the body as a natural state of being actually. And so he said food is very harmful and very dangerous. Well, today we have proof of that, right? So this next painting here represents how we move through the bridges of density. On your right hand top corner, we have a man pulling out a black cloud of density that goes through the bridge of green light and is being transmuted to the Hebrew letter, the Yod, the lavender Yod. Lavender ray is a very transmutational color, and it goes through the fire of transmutation in order to gain your green beret or green knowledge for this new age of knowledge. This is also a very strong painting. As we can see on the left side, you see the phoenix rising and pulling through the arrows of density. But it first needs to go to the lion's gate, and the lion is represented in the middle of this painting, in between the phoenix and the male-female hand coming together to what? To the pink and white gate, or the gate of self-realization and purification, actually. And this is a very simple painting I love so much. It represents the many suns and moons that we can open up to the brain. There is some geometry connected to the brain here as well, in order to open up to the simplicity of the golden phoenix. And here again, this blue-ray painting represents in the first place a high level of truth and the 3 stages into which relationships on earth build. So on your left hand we have a male-female component that really want to merge, but are in fear of what that particular entity is about. So when they feel a little bit more at ease on your right hand corner, you see them merge through many waves of intercommunicational links, and the last stage is complete merger, where that relationship is being fed through truth, value, intuition, and peace, representing the first golden age of peace on earth. This painting is rising through the phoenix and rising into many light particles. Again, I was working with the elements, as we can see. This is one of my favorites, and because first of all, I made this in 5 minutes time, to be exact, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And that came out of me like it represents a man that is spraying his density out of the body. So that is the white ray and the silver ray combination. Can't see the silver ray so well on this painting. Anyways, white is purification, and so the red ray is really high level communication forms, or the great communicator that has inundated anything that is termed density. And in this case, it is being assisted through water waves, the oceans, and on your left side you can see dolphins and whales that have so much knowledge in assisting us to realign to what is needed to purify Earth, to purify the oceans and the human body as well, and also some seahorses. So that's another level of knowledge we can dig deep into, because all these animals have so much to tell us and assist us and co-create with us on Earth. Here again, this painting represents a male and female component that gather through the arc of their own covenant. So we see the musical notes that fuse the male and female components, and a lot more. We see the elements that we adjust male-female brains in order to gather in purity, actually, and in a high-level mentality represented by the orange ray. High-level mentality would also bring to a new level of attitudes towards relationships, which is highly needed on the earth plane. Regarding the complaints of women and men and everything we are living, and the beauty and the humility and the respect needs to be restored between male and female entities. So that is basically what it represents. There's a lot more of that in all the other paintings as well, but in this one, the green ray, in the middle we see Earth, and around Earth, this is actually what is happening right now. We see thunderbirds that are restoring the whole field around Earth, and they are being assisted with many other elements, basically. And that is what it brings is a shift in consciousness. The green ray and the cream and white ray, or the cream ray may be the highest vibrational output behind the white ray and the clear ray, and that is being assisted by the etheric realms of light, or etherical knowledge. So here, that represents the heart of the universe, and the omnipotent creative outlet we can open up to the heart, as the heart is represented by the pink, the burgundy, orange and red rays, and of course surrounded by the black, omnipotent universe. This next painting again is with the elements and the red ray arcs of light, how we can reconnect to these arcs that have been lost for many, many, many years, and how the elements are yearning to be put back in their origin actually, and how we can assist the elements to do so, which is already happening in 2017. But this painting is, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago. Anyways, this represents an underwater dinosaurus that is smoking the pipe. So I'll let you think about that one yourself, merging water and the element of fire here. This is a geometric component, again merging male-female essences through the substances being filled with the elements. Here, this represents, when looking closer, the nervous system of the male and female, and it also has a DNA merger coming through the speed of light, or the black omnipotent warp of light, represented by the black ray in the golden universe, which is the alpha omega, and fusing with the etheric realms where no density exists any longer. This here is the phallus of the male essence that is being readjusted with the elementals. Here we have a blue ray pentagram and the human body rising back into its spirit consciousness through the silver arc of light. Very high consciousness, when we can talk from spirit, like on an everyday level, and do that from the universal realms represented by the blue ray in this case. It is peace, it brings harmony, and it restores a high level of automatic intuition. And this one was one of my first paintings. Again, we can see on the bottom, we see the womb of creation where a baby is growing, and coming out of the womb we see the fire opening up into the nervous system. And so all these final lines represent the human nervous system that is connected to the universe in essence, actually. So this painting again is working with the attitude or mentality within elements and how they can communicate with us. So above that we see the human brain with brain extensions actually, and opening up to the green ray of knowledge infused with the burgundy musical vibrations and the yellow sunlight. But of course there's more to that, but let's keep it simple. Here in this case it's the origin of the stars or the golden moon, and the planet that is termed with its many rings of light, which is the North Star. And so here, this is a very strong painting, also made in 5 minutes time. And we see the human being that is being catapulted in negativity and density in society. So wherever you go, it's being catapulted at you, except when you are infused with the green way of knowledge, the essence of the absolute that is backing you and creating or inventing your new inner life, so you can really step out of that density. That's the essence beyond that. This painting represents a unicorn that is working hard to bring the golden arc back to the red way spiral or red sunlight that is coming back to Earth and bringing back a new level of consciousness. This painting has been manifested simply on paper. Well, it has many levels actually that worked fine. And we see a golden face, a golden female face. You can see her mouth. You can see the opening in her brain that has expanded consciousness into the universe, because it represents a peach ray, and peach is the coming together of the orange ray and the pink ray. Orange representing high level mentality and attitude as in the universal brain level of intelligence, merging with a high level of spirit consciousness, represented by the peach ray. And here I have the eye, the all-seeing eye, which is a very important adjustment in memory. Perhaps in most people, the eye is a keeper of knowledge about the world and the knowledge gained through life. So my brain is really engaged in more and more important things than remembering. It's picking up what is required really at a given moment, and this is all around us. We should only just consume that, because if we move into the eye that really wants to see, these are 3 stages. So here the eye represents the pupil, in which we see golden sunlight, and the golden sunlight is surrounded with inspiration through your spirit, represented by the silver ray, and the peaceful surrounding represented by the blue ray around. So around the iris we have the black omnipotent universe. And the last stage of this eye is when we can see through the sun, or open up the eye within the sun, backed by your spirit and silver and blue ray and omnipotent universe. This is one of the most important paintings I made for myself, because I mean, it's been, I think 3 years ago I made this painting, and it's only now, like in 2017, that I'm understanding what I was doing there, and how important it was to gain that knowledge and to open that technology in the eye center actually. This painting represents black, white and golden wheels of light, or black, white and golden universe we are moving into and merging with, and it's being assisted by the pale dragon. A dragon light is very strong in essence. It's a universal light composition actually.